Go ahead, start. Are you recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Michael Magian, and I'll be recording this from San Antonio, Texas, while I'm on vacation with my family. Today, I'll be giving you a speech on centrifugal pumps and maintenance and training issues with them. The purpose of my speech is to persuade you that, and by the end of my speech, my audience will be persuaded that companies should invest time and resources into comprehensive centrifugal training, centrifugal pump training, and also into maintenance programs. So implementing a formal centrifugal pump training and preventive maintenance program will reduce operating costs, it'll decrease equipment issues, it'll improve worker safety, and it'll increase plant reliability. So imagine it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're at a petrochemical site. Your pump begins to cavitate. So the operator doesn't recognize what's going on. The pump will eventually fail, it'll overheat, the seals will break, production will come to a stop, then maintenance will get called out. That's overtime hours. You're going to have chemicals on the ground, and this is going to cause some type of environmental issue and also production issue. This is going to cost a lot of money, a lot of time, and it's also going to endanger safety. Now if we had a good training program as well as a preventive maintenance program, we could have probably stopped that from happening. So today I want to persuade you that every facility should invest in a formal one, not just one that we do every now and again, but a formal training program and a formal preventive maintenance program. So in my previous speech that I talked to you about, I explained how centrifugal pumps, what they were, how they operated, and some common problems that we could have with them in the industry. As someone with over a decade of experience operating in chemical processing equipment and currently working in industrial operations, I've seen firsthand how proper training and the lack of it can affect safety, reliability, and production. Today also represents guidance from the Hydraulic Institute, from the U.S. Department of Energy, OSHA, and Flowserve, which is one of the leading manufacturers in the industry. So here's the fact. Companies that invest in centrifugal pump maintenance and operating training, they save money, they reduce equipment failures, and they create a safe working place. So today I'm going to discuss why these pump failures are so expensive, how proper training reduces equipment damages, how preventative maintenance improves safety and reliability, and why investing in people produces the greatest return. So let's begin with the cost of doing nothing. So pump failures cost companies far more than replacement and repairs. Most people think that replacing a pump is expensive, but actually that's probably one of the least expensive things you can do. Whenever you have a pump failure, the unexpected failures, you also create lost production, emergency overtime, environmental cleanup, damaged seals, damaged bearings, other damaged equipment associated with it, lost product, you probably have stuff laying all on the ground, and other contractor expenses. So according to the U.S. Department of Energy, preventative maintenance can reduce maintenance costs by up to 30%, while reducing equipment breakdown by as much as 70%. So waiting until equipment fails is one of the worst things you could possibly do, and it's a terrible maintenance strategy to have. So fortunately, many failures are completely preventable. So one of the ways that we prevent them are proper training to operators can prevent a lot of errors and failures. Most centrifugal pumps fail not because people are trying to do the wrong thing, and it's not because the equipment is defective, it's just because of a lack of experience many times. So examples may include running a pump dry, deadheading a pump, operating too far from the best efficiency rating, failing to recognize cavitation, improper startup procedures, and improper shutdown procedures. So a trained operator can recognize unusual vibrations, abnormal pressures, changing sounds, seal leakage, different temperature issues, and before catastrophic issue happens, we want to make sure that we see all those signs and symptoms and do something before we get to these issues. So, but training alone isn't enough. Equipment also requires routine preventative maintenance. So preventative maintenance improves safety and reliability. But preventive maintenance also includes vibration analysis, lubrication, bearing inspections, seal inspections, alignment verifications, and impeller inspections. Most of these are really, really cheap to do. So an inspection is all it takes is time. But if we don't have an organized plan to do that, then we're gonna have issues with our program. So, and these small programs, these small problems can often become major failures. Everything was good before it was bad. So, in chemical manufacturing, a failed seal can release hazardous materials. So, a seized bearing can create heat. Unexpected failures can expose employees to unnecessary hazards during emergency repairs. But routine maintenance dramatically reduces these risks and keeps these from happening, and it extends the equipment life. So according to OSHA, maintaining equipment in safe operating conditions is a critical part of protecting workers from hazardous energy and mechanical hazards. So finally, let's look at the return on investment. So training is one of the best investments a company can make. So equipment doesn't fail because people are careless. It often fails because employees were never taught what the right thing to do is. So investing in these people creates fewer shutdowns, better troubleshooting, longer equipment life, improved reliability, safer operations, lower maintenance costs, and more uptime for the company. So the Hydraulic Institute emphasizes that operator knowledge is one of the most effective ways to improve pump reliability and efficiency. A single avoided failure can save far more money than an annual training program costs. So as I conclude today, I'd like to leave you with one final thought. Companies routinely invest hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars in pumps, motors, and production equipment. So yes, they often hesitate to invest just a small fraction of that in training and maintenance. But this could be the most important thing and save companies millions and millions of dollars. So today we discussed the hidden costs of pump failures, how operator training prevents mistakes, how preventative maintenance improves safety and reliability, and why investing in employees provides a long-term financial returns. So during my years working in chemical manufacturing, I've seen the differences that proper training can make. I've watched experienced operators hear the subtle sounds and vibrations that pumps make and know that something is wrong. I've seen people with less experience let pumps go until failure because they didn't know what was going wrong with it. With proper training and with a proper maintenance program, we can avoid these things. Thank you.